Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It's the grand finals for DotaPit season number 2. Of course, Virtus.Pro Polar versus Team Secret here in a best of 5 series. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Mott. Joining me today is Mott Pax and, of course, my man F4L. We are already underway in the draft currently. Again, a best of 5 series. Virtus.Pro Polar, they had to take 5 games to get against EG and take those games and go 3-2 against them in order to move on. Team Secret, they beat Virtus.Pro 3-1, and we are already underway in the draft here in this first game. Thank you so much for joining us again. My name is Mott. Joining me is F4L. F4L, how the hell are you today, man?
I'm doing really good today. I'm super excited for the conclusion of the DotaPit Season 2 finals. Should be a great one, I think. Both these teams are pretty evenly matched, actually, I would say. Maybe a little edge for Secret just because they have a bit more experience, just these players in general. But I think it should be a great one.
Yeah, we'll find out how the draft does pan out, who gets off to this early lead in the first game as we have the draft. Dazzle and Death Prop for Virtus.Pro Polar. Team Secret go for Drow Ranger and Vengeful Spirit. So Team Secret, we saw them in action yesterday, and if there was one critical key to that series, it was No Tails Disruptor more than likely. Again, we talk about his 3 heroes, maybe 4 heroes. They ban out right now the IO. Obviously not available for him, but Elder Titan and Disruptor still available for Team Secret.
So this is actually very interesting to me. So Secret sort of throw Virtus.Pro Polar curveball in this game. Every time that Elder Titan is available, they snatch that hero up. But you know what? They're saying, look, we're going to pick Venge and Dro, not opting for that ET pick, which has been so successful for them. So that actually is probably going to have a little bit of a psychological effect on Virtus.Pro Polar's FNG when he's trying to figure out what to draft. Just because you expect the ET pick, right, when these get picked. I mean, they probably picked the Dazzle even, expecting them to pick ET in the next pick.
They did throw them for a curveball. They Drow Ranger. They do ban out the Visage. Again, we've talked about Drow recently. It used to be that this hero was only picked with Visage, but nowadays that's not the case. This hero is too good to just have this with the Visage alone, I think.
I like it a lot with QW Invoker, actually. We've seen sort of a resurgence of the QW Invoker, and it's definitely extremely strong with Dro because you sort of bypass the crappy laning phase with that Dro aura. I think that's the real weakness of the QW Invoker. You can just get out CS mid. There's a bunch of matchups where you're going to get out CS by maybe 20, 30 CS by 10 minutes sometimes. But with the Dro, it's actually quite strong, and then you get all that nice control that the QW Invoker gives you, so...
Thing is, I'm not sure about S4 and his Invoker play. I haven't seen it too often, so that's the one thing I'm kind of concerned about.
He plays QW Invoker. He doesn't play Exort.
Okay, well, we'll see if they grab it up. Virtus.Pro Polar ban with Venomancer, another hero that's been picked pretty frequently for a lot of teams. In fact, a lot of teams going for the Venomancer, but Virtus.Pro Polar do have the first pick in this round, and they have Death Prophet Dazzle to start things off with, so...
Yeah, I mean, it could also... Secret actually banning out the Pucks, so... I mean, there's not actually a lot of ranged heroes for the mid lane left. You've got Invoker, Puck... I mean, what else is there?
10 seconds.
It's actually kind of surprising. A lot of them have sort of trended towards melee heroes, because you've got, like, Night Stalkers and Pandas and stuff.
Ember Spirits, etc. That's a good point. I'm sure we're missing something. I'm sure there's... I mean...
It's actually so annoying to... think about heroes without the hero list, because whenever you're playing Dota, obviously you have the whole hero list.
When you're drafting, when you're in Katniss
and when you're
mode,
drafting,
it's a bit frustrating. Without the hero list, it becomes kind of because then you have to remember it through just sheer will. And listen, my brain isn't that big. I don't know every Dota hero off the top of my head.
Storm is a good hero, I think. Oh, Queen of Pain, actually. That's actually pretty interesting, because Queen has been buffed a lot, and with Dro Aura, it's very easy to just dominate your lane.
Problem with, I think, Queen of Pain is they made it so the hero is somewhat decent in late game, but I still don't like it that much. Virtus.Pro Polar go for the Slaughter, though. I hear they've been playing a lot recently. They have the Batten Slaughter, Dazzle. They have ways to keep people alive, so...
They actually picked this exact same draft a couple days ago. I'm not sure. I think it was in the Battle of the European something.
Yeah. I
But
know what you're talking about.
they picked Slardar, Dazzle, Abaddon, and Death Prophet. I don't remember what their fifth hero was, but they go for this sort of negative armor strat. So they have
10
Slardar,
seconds
Dazzle to give that
remaining.
negative armor, which makes the Exorcism just do a tremendous amount of damage.
5
And then they have
seconds
the
remaining.
Abaddon and Dazzle to keep everyone alive during these 5-man pushes. And they've been quite successful with this lineup.
Reserve
This is
time.
very tough to take down, regardless of how much damage you have from Ancient Apparition, Draw Ranger, and Vengeful Spirit. People are going to die. They're so susceptible to ganks because of how squishy they are. And Slardar, Abaddon, Dazzle, and Death Prophet, they could kill people very quickly with, like you said, the snowball lineup. Now for Team Secret, what's their choice? What do they go for? The Vengeful Spirit support combo is actually really interesting because that is not any of the heroes that you expect No-Tail to play, but they will grab those heroes up.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a Puppy, Ancient Apparition, and a No-Tail Venge, I would imagine. Although they could switch it up. I think both players can play either of these heroes. These are definitely two of Secret's favorite support heroes. I would say they're 3 favorite, right? Well, probably 4. There's there's 5 heroes at support that they really like. They like IO, ET, if those are available, but obviously in this game they don't go for either. They also like the Ancient Apparition, Venge, and then the last hero they really
10
like is
seconds remaining.
Disruptor. And they could actually they actually pick Wind Ranger.
Dire team back.
The Wind Ginger back into play.
Interesting.
This
I wonder
is-
if this is going to be an offlane or a mid Wind Ranger.
I saw this work for another team. I don't think it was Secret, though.
It's probably mid. I
I've
think
seen-
it's a little too risky to put it offlane.
Who did this? I think it
10
was
seconds
Virtus.Pro
remaining.
Polar did this the other day. Or it was one of the Virtus Pros, I believe, where they
5
picked Wind Ranger, they
seconds
picked Drive
remaining.
together, or maybe not. I can't remember.
No,
This
no,
is Scarladder.
I know
Reserve
C9 have
time.
done this a lot of times. Like
Yeah, it wasn't
when
C9 either.
C9 when they used to pick Dro, when they were first picking it, they would either first they liked Viper mid a lot. Then they sort of shifted when Fata came. They were like, oh, we'll get Puck plus Dro because no one lets us get Viper with Dro because it's actually extraordinarily strong. And then when both of those got banned, they would pick Windrunner because that's sort of like the order of heroes that are really strong with Dro in the mid lane.
Radiant
I saw this the
team
other day,
back.
and the Dry Ranger got ganked consistently, and it was Lions playing against it, I believe, and whoever the team was playing with it, they had the Wind Ranger just farm ridiculously fast and absolutely obliterate everybody. She got a Maelstrom. Her
10
focus fire was
seconds
ridiculous.
remaining.
I think she got an Aghanim Scepter, unsurprisingly. She
Yeah, you
just
get,
killed
5
everybody.
seconds remaining.
You get 6 attacks a second, I think, now with focus fire. It's actually completely insane.
5
Maybe it
seconds
was.
remaining.
Modpax is saying that it might have been Gooba and Vega. It was
Goomba
Vega, I
and
believe.
Vega.
Yeah, Vega.
Dire
It sounds like it
team
was
pick.
Vega. Okay.
Interesting.
And they ran it really well. I mean, it was a lot of range heroes, obviously, but the Wind Ranger was the one key thing that took over the game because the aggressive tri-lane came out from 4 ESC, and Timmerman was playing a Bristleback, and they shut down the Dry Ranger, but then the Wind Ranger made absolutely crushed everybody in the game. So I think that's going to be the key for Team Secret is that Dry Ranger might get shut down here, but Wind Ranger could still do a lot of damage against
10
this Virtus.Pro
seconds
Polar
remaining.
squad.
I would actually still like to see Invoker for a secret
5
QW.
seconds
I think it's
remaining.
quite strong. They might have a little bit of issues figuring out how to lane these heroes, but
Reserve time.
I really actually think the QW Invoker is better than this Wind Ranger pick because if you look at the heroes from Virtus.Pro Polar, especially Abaddon and Sardar, these are heroes with extremely small mana pools. So if you catch them out in one Tornado EMP, there goes the push. Like, it's actually just done at that point because they can't sustain their mana. And Dazzle, not a hero that really wants to go mana boots. Sure, Abaddon will go them, but forcing 2 of these supports to get mana boots, I think, is actually a big deal. So,
10
I mean, we'll see how the
remaining.
Wind Ranger works. I think it can still work. And it's actually a last
Radiant
pick,
team
Elder
pick.
Titan. So they actually get so much value from this pick. I wonder if Secret even considered that Virtus.Pro Polar could pick this hero because look at how much negative armor they have. Now they have a natural order, which is going to remove your entire base armor. You've got the Slardar, which at level 16 removes 20 armor. And then, of course, the Weave can remove up to, what is it? It's like 30-something armor at level 16.
10
This is
seconds
like, I mean, this is
No,
like
let's just put it this
absolutely
way.
insane armor reduction.
4 squishy heroes with a
5
ridiculous
seconds
amount of armor
remaining.
reduction. Team Secret's going to die very consistently if they don't get some help here. Storm Spirit, that's okay, that's good, but at the same time,
Dire
this
team
feels like they have so many squishy heroes and very little control, very little ways to escape. They're
Yeah.
probably going to die a lot.
I feel like Secret needs to dominate this laning phase, especially with the Drow. That's sort of typically how it goes with the Drow lineups. If you lose the laning phase, you're probably going to lose the game because the hero falls off completely going into the late game. This is definitely a game, though. I think the laning stage is really important for Secret, and if they don't dominate the laning phase, I'm sort of scared for them in the mid game because the Dazzle and Abaddon are going to have quite an easy time keeping all of these heroes alive. If you go in, usually as a Storm, you want to go in on that. If they have defensive supports, go in on that defensive support, orchid him up, but they have two of them.
Yeah.
So
if you go on Abaddon, obviously you don't want to go on Abaddon because, he has his ult. If you go on Dazzle, Abaddon's just going to shield heal him, and then, there's your orchids. Your orchid is completely removed.
How are you supposed to kill anybody in this game?
This is, you kill them when they're split up. In these 5-man pushes, I think it's going to be quite difficult for Secret to find an opening. But obviously, that being said, I'm assuming that it's going to be an even game at that point. So it's very important, I think, for Secret to come out ahead in this laning phase, like I've said.
Why are you lagging here? Am I the only one? I'm getting kind of slideshow Dota'd for a bit. Maybe not anymore. I think we're okay. All right. It's the first game, and I don't want anything bad happening currently. And so far, so good. Virtus.Pro Polar, I'm actually really impressed with this draft. They could actually just destroy this game, assuming everything goes well. This is going to be difficult. I mean, this is not going to be easy for Secret to win. If they could, like you said, dominate the laning phase. But as you see already, they are going to go for the aggressive tri-lane, it looks like, from Secret here. They'll have Kuroki up here. Maybe actually just a dual lane.
I like this choice.
No, aggro tri-lane with Puppey, yeah.
I like it and I don't like it because we always talk about how in aggressive tri-lanes you're sort of giving up experience, especially on a Drow Ranger who really wants to get to that level 6 as fast as possible because you get 40 agility, and 40 agility just means more damage for your team.
Well, at some point in time, they will have to get Kuroki to level 6. They want to dominate this tri-lane top, and that's fine. But actually, you see dual lanes coming out from Virtus.Pro Polar, so they realize maybe that something like this is happening. They want to try dominating bottom. They want to get a good matchup mid with Mag. We'll see how this goes. So for Virtus.Pro Polar, their lineup, Illidan Stormrage with attack SF, or Shirley Finette playing the Slardar, Will playing the Dazzle. We will have, going to the top lane, FNG on your Abaddon. And in the mid lane, it is going to be Mag on the Death Prophet. Rounding it out, off lane Elder Titan, played by DK Phobos for Virtus.Pro Polar.
And then on Radiant, for Team Secret in the safe lane, we're going to have Misery on the Windrunner. Looks like he's going to be having a 1v1 up against the Elder Titan. He should have a nice time in that lane. In the mid lane, we're going to have S4 playing the Storm Spirit. And top lane, we're going to have an aggressive tri-lane with Kuroki on the Drow Ranger, No Tail on the Vengeful Spirit, and Puppey playing the Ancient Apparition.
And they throw out the Magic Missile, and Illidan takes a bit of damage from the Chilling Touch, but he just tangles up, and they'll have to sit back for a bit. But for the time being, they can't get a kill here, and this is how Secret are going to get their levels and experience. Number one, they can try to pull through this camp. Number two, they can more than likely just try to be aggressive and get kills. Sentry Ward placed, so does that actually block the camp? I think so.
I usually bad at casting and don't have open mic.
It's okay. I like how
I read the chat.
Well, now Frost Arizona and Stormrage, he'll back away for a moment. He's just going to last hit this creep real quick. And then it looks like so far this aggro trial is not working out 100%, but if they do block this pole camp, which it seems like they did, it's going to be tough for Virtus.Pro to control the lane equilibrium, and then from that point on, if they walk forward, they might die. However, again, very defensive tri-lane. This is very hard to kill any of these heroes because of Shallow Grave, Shadow Wave, Photic Shield, and Illidan just being a tanky-ass hero.
I mean, the purpose of this aggro tri-lane is not to get kills because that is not in the cards for these heroes, especially against the lane that VP has. In fact, I think they'll end up losing out in terms of experience because of the pulse, but at the same time, it opens up a dominant lane for Misery. I mean, he can absolutely crush this Elder Titan in a 1v1 situation, especially with that Drow Aura. I mean, already up to 11 and 3 CS up against the 5 and 1 of ET, and it's actually only going to get worse. It's not going to get better for this ET.
DK Phobos is going to have a rough time. I mean, you have Astral Spirit, yes, but there's no real way for him to try to contest the CS and even harass down Misery. In fact, Misery pushes him out of the lane. He goes to get the bounty rune, and DK Phobos has to take the long walk back towards the lane, in which gives Misery that much more experience advantage over this offlaner. So, for now, like you said, they are crushing this solo safe lane, but again, we'll have to see how the rest of the laning phase continues. It's good that he's crushing this lane, but what does this transition into is the real question.
Yeah, I mean, they also have a small CS lead in this aggressive tri-lane, which isn't too surprising, but I think they're going to get out experience just from this pole camp because the supports will kill this camp every minute, and that allows them to get a slight experience advantage, and compounded over time, it's going to probably equal a 1 to 2 level advantage by the time this laning phase is over, unless someone dies.
I was wondering why Puppey threw the sentry ward here. It doesn't block. If you place it in this vicinity, it doesn't block the camp from spawning, so it's kind of curious that he put it there. I'm not sure why.
He may have misplaced it because there is actually, if you put it right here on the right side of this opening, it actually blocks, but on the left side of the opening, it doesn't block, it's very finicky.
Well, then you have to wonder if you would put it in just an easier spot. Regardless, they're pulling to the hard camp now, so it doesn't even matter. They're not even going to use the safe lane camp. And with the Hellbear, it's going to kill this group with quickly. However, Kuroki, Whippertail is going to go through, and FNG is like, let's get the hell out of here, team. Lil's running away as well. Kuroki has now have the Chilling Touch up and ready to go for his right click, but they just steal the creep wave, and this does allow for Illidan to last hit under the tower, which at least is something else. And mid lane matchup is actually rather even. Mag has 20 last hits, the Storm Spirit has 21, so it's...
You know, it's actually... What was funny, I actually thought that sentry ward was placed by the Dire and that they dewarded, but actually being placed by Secret, I think that's a big mistake, not getting this block off, because it's really hurting them in this lane. Had they gotten that block off, and with the current laning situation, they would have a huge advantage right now. Just in terms of CS, because they are about 10 CS ahead in this aggressive lane, which isn't too surprising because it's a melee against ranged. And then in the safe lane, 26-7. So Misery completely dominating this lane, but it's to be expected.
Windrun comes out and DK Phobo 6 is a bit more harass. And can you imagine how much damage Misery will have once they get level 6 in this wind or the Draw Ranger? Just be absolutely... I mean, DK Phobos at that point probably can't stay in lane, so... And that's the one issue, is if maybe they dual laned or something, they would have gotten more experience coming out from Kuroki, but they seem to be okay with the current laning setup. And they are looking for a gank mid, as No-Tail does have a Smoke of Deceit up, and they are looking for a kill on Mag. He's got an Illusion Rune, the Creep Wave is pushing into the tower, so it's going to take a bit of time for him to get this kill. They're going to go now, though. Ball Lightning, Electric Vortex, Mag gets some trouble, Magic Missile, well, forget what I said. They just go immediately as they push in the wave, and they get the kill.
Yeah, that's a really nice gank from Secret.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Puppey does look like he's going to go down.
Photic Shield going to go. Kuroki in trouble as well. There is going to be the Slithering Crush, and Illidan gets 2. Lil gets the first, Illidan getting the second, and the top tri-lane, because No-Tail is not available, they just go in. Even with the Gust out of 2 heroes onto FNG and Lil, Illidan's able to survive long enough to get a Photic Shielded and Shadow Waved at the end of the engagement.
I'm surprised that actually happened. I mean... When one of your supports goes to gank, you really need to be playing ultra safe in this aggressive lane because, I mean, like we saw there, they just cast a sprint, get the stun off onto 2 heroes, and they get 2 nice kills for VP. So I would say a little bit out of position for Secret, but nice play from VP to get those counter kills.
They're going to try to go here maybe on No-Tail. They actually don't have any way to disable him. In fact, maybe it's Virtus.Pro Polar getting got on. Electric Vortex might go. S4 is kind of low here. He's got to be careful. Ball letting away, Crypt Swarm, Mag taking a lot of damage. Aphotic Shield miscoiled, Puppey's gonna fall to the Aphotic Shield of FNG. Big Daddy trying to run away, he'll get to the high ground. Crypt Swarm, right click, miscoil from FNG, gets the kill. It's a double kill for your Baden. Oh man, Virtus.Pro Polar now is trying to style here on Secret as they use the Aphotic Shield and miscoils at perfect times to get these kills.
I thought that was a bit too over-aggressive from Mag, but completely showing me wrong there. Tanks up all the damage, has the nice heal, and a Photic Shield from FNG, and so far these picks have really paid off for Virtus.Pro Polar, and we talked about their mid-game potential, but already showing it here in this early game.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, like, if they get to this mid-game, if they get Weave, if they get all the abilities for pretty much all of these heroes, all of a sudden, you're going to have a game where Exorcism's coming out, Slaughter's blinking on you, probably killing you, armor reduction aplenty like we talked about in the draft, and Secret aren't really getting much out of this. They've rotated Puppey and No-Tail down to the mid lane. Looks like they're going to rotate Kuroki over to the safe lane, perhaps, and have Wind Ranger go elsewhere. So they're kind of just blowing this up now.
Yeah, they're going to give Puppey mid for a bit, I believe. Make sure that he gets his level 6 as soon as possible. That's going to be very crucial for them in their ability to take these fights. But they can't act. Who are they going to send top lane? Like, I think any hero that goes top, if it's not a tri-lane, is just going to die.
Well, No-Tail is going to test that.
No-Tail's trying to get some experience. He's going to be spotted.
They have the
and I
observer
don't
ward.
think he's gonna
Yeah.
get anything up here.
He is going to go back to the tower. He can't get anything out of this top lane. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Virtus.Pro Polar, I mean, it's great that Misery is destroying bottom, but that is the only thing really going well for them now. I mean, despite they do have a CS advantage both mid, well, actually not even mid, but just top lane, but top and bottom is a CS advantage. Stomp going. Misery avoids it with Windrun.
But at the same time, do you really care if a Windrunner gets farmed like this early game? I don't think so, because, yeah, sure, DK Phobos only has 12 CS compared to the 50 of the Windrunner, so Windrunner is definitely doing quite well for herself, but the effectiveness of these heroes, I think Elder Titan is one of these heroes that doesn't really need too many items. He's going to be just as effective with levels, and he's doing a decent job getting the levels. Obviously, the 30 denies on Misery not helping.
It's like Tranquil Soul Ring, level 9, and you're good to go. Effigy getting caught out, Aphotic Shield, not able to go yet. I think it might have went, no. He's going to get Shadow Waved up, and it's the problem. I mean, they try to go on one of these heroes. They try to go in the Abaddon before he even has level 6, and Dazzle just TPs. He's like, I have a Grave, I have Shadow Wave. You just can't kill our heroes. And that was with a haste rune. S4 got an 8-minute S4 rune, if you will. But they weren't able to secure the kill, and this gives so much room to Virtus.Pro Polar now. I mean, with the exception of the bottom lane, so...
Yep, it appears that Illidan is going to be working towards the Vanguard, so going the Vanguard route instead of the Blink first. I actually kind of like this build. When you get Blink first, it's a bit awkward because you're not tanky enough, and if your first couple of Blink ganks don't work out, then you're getting extremely far behind on this hero, but I'm a fan of the Vanguard.
He'll have it pretty soon at about 400 some odd gold, and
It's going to make it extremely difficult for them to kill him as well, with all of the healing that comes out as well.
he's just not going to die, like, ever. It's going to be kind of an issue. We'll wait and see how it turns out.
Mystery is going for a late Midas, it looks like. This is
No.
kind of interesting.
He grabs it, and... I mean, yeah, this is pretty late. He had Phase Boots, he had a Basilius already done. He had 62 last hits. 9 minutes, he does get the Midas completed, and now this will give him some extra farm ability. I'm surprised he doesn't just go for the Maelstrom, and he's able to farm just as fast with said Maelstrom.
Yeah, I think this Midas pickup is... I'm not sure how much value he's going to get out of this.
Dyer's
I mean,
middle
it's
tower
definitely an
is
item that
doubled.
accelerates your level progression, but it's not really going to do too much in terms of farm, like compared to a Maelstrom, like you said.
They need to just strive for the late game, and Midas and Maelstrom will help him get there at some point in time. And I mean, if they try to fight here in the early game, they might just lose altogether from what Illidan and the rest of Virtus.Pro Polar are.
I don't know about
together.
taking this late against the heroes that DK have. I mean, VP have, sorry.
Well, even in the mid game, what are they going to do? Right now, there's a ball lightning in. Mag's going to get caught out of that. Miscoil, no Aphotic Shield yet. And S4 is like, well, I'm out of mana for the most part. I have enough to jump away, and that's it. He just buys his Oblivion Staff. And I mean, anytime he tries to Electric Vortex, it doesn't work at all. So
The majority of this game is going to be dependent on how many picks Secret can get with the Storm and maybe Ancient Apparition using his ult.
well, so far they have 1 kill. So
Yeah.
good luck.
Well, I mean, obviously you're going to wait until Storm has one item. He needs at least an Orchid. He is flying out his first Oblivion Staff, so inching closer towards that item.
And the hero is good when he can get that Orgrim level and stuff. He can start ganking and being aggressive. And
I mean, I could be underestimating Windrunner's potential to carry with the Drow Ranger. I mean, that is a possibility.
listen, I've seen it firsthand. It's pretty good. It's pretty damn good. I just
Yeah.
don't know if the Midas was the right choice rather than, say, the Maelstrom.
Well, I mean, this could also be an Invoker in the safe lane. I mean, it also would have done quite well against the Elder Titan. And I believe they would have gotten more out of something like an Invoker, just to give them all that control. But we'll have to see how it goes for them. He is sitting at 80 CS, so doing a great job so far. They are, if you look at the CS charts, they're doing a bit better farming, mostly thanks to this bottom lane. The rest is pretty even in terms of the other cores.
Regardless, we are
And
12 minutes in, and Virtus.Pro Polar have
maybe-
4 kills.
Maybe Illidan, does he go for the Blink first and then goes back for Vanguard? Is that what he does?
I'm not sure. He certainly
He's
could,
sitting
because
at
he's saving up
1900
for a Blink Dagger, it looks like. I think this is the better choice. And it's not going to be, like, if he can get 1 or 2 ganks with his Blink Dagger, then that's his Vanguard completed. And then after that, he won't have any issues surviving. He should be alive in most of the fights, unless it's, 5 men jumping on him, a gust coming through, jump from the Storm Spirit. There's a lot that they could shut him down with, but for now, if he gets his Blink Dagger, and if they start going, they're going to get some kills. Mag is trying to get to level 11 here. He is level 9, so 2 levels away from that level 2 ultimate. And once you hit that ultimate, maybe you start fighting, because guess what? The weave is up and available. Lil does have it. I mean, Aphotic Shield borrow time's there for FNG, which is good, so they can't really jump on him anymore. What level of natural order? 2 still, as he went 2 points into Stomp, interestingly enough, so.
I think that's pretty standard, isn't it? 2 points into Stomp. It allows you more time. It's 3 seconds instead of 2. It's really hard to set anything up with 2 seconds Stomp duration. But with that 3 seconds, you can set up a lot of...
It set up the Earth Splitter, doesn't it? At level 1, I think. Or something.
I'm not actually sure. Earth Splitter, it looks like it's 3 seconds, so yeah, it does. Because you cast them at the same time, so...
Mask of Madness picked up for Kuroki. 1 Wraithband, 1 Aquila, and Tread, so he does have a decent amount of agility and right-click damage, and he's good.
What? Are you going to pick up a Blink? He's sitting at 2,300 golds.
Buy your item, Illidan, please. He is saving a lot. Who knows what he's going for here? We'll have to keep an eye on him. It's a Blink Dagger, I think, right? Yep, there it is.
He just didn't want to miss any CS, I believe.
What a player.
Radiant's
That's all about that
tower is
efficiency.
under
Illidan
attack.
Storm Rage coming in. S4 might get jumped on here. They have the silence from Mag if they want to, but...
Do you think...
He's thinking about throwing it out.
So he hasn't shown this Blink Dagger yet. It does look like they are going to TP onto the top lane, maybe go for a kill on Lil.
Didn't you see that TP, though? Maybe not. I'm not sure.
I don't believe so. It does look like he does back up just in time, so not giving S4 any chances.
Radiant's middle tower
S4 is going to get a
attack.
double damage rune. That's gross. He'll head back to the mid lane. They do have the top 3 in net worth, despite Virtus.Pro Polar seemingly having an advantage here. That's not necessarily the case. Mag and FNG are going to head bottom. There's no ward to spot them out. There was one that spotted them going through the bottom rune spot. They didn't smoke for this. Puppy's nearby. He might get caught out there. 4 heroes rotating for Virtus.Pro Polar bottom. Illidan has sprint. He's looking for his first Slithering Crush target. And now he's going to find it. Jump in Misery. That's a huge kill. Immediately blown up. Now the Exorcism. No Tail completes his TP. Magic Missiles. Now the Crypt Swarm goes in as well. No Tail is about to fly on the other side. You have Electric Vortex coming out. That was onto FNG. And he's going to stay alive. Aphotic Shield. Slithering Crush does miss. Bash. It doesn't go onto S4. There's the Poison Touch, but he's got full mana. He's going to be able to walk away. The Astral Spirit going through as well just to get vision. And this tier 1 tower is more than likely going to be taken down by Virtus.Pro Polar after they already take 2 heroes.
Yeah, this is really nice for VPP. And I like what Illidan did. He gets the Blink Dagger. He immediately goes off the map, starts farming up the jungle until they're ready to make their rotation into this bottom lane. And getting that kill onto Windrunner, probably their most successful hero right now for Secret, was very big for them, as well as picking up that first tier 1 tower of the game.
Mask of Madness pops up for Kuroki. They're going to take down this tier 1. So a tier 1 for a tier 1 trade. There's not going to be able to... I mean, Illidan might be able to find Kuroki. Weave's going to go, and they don't look for the blink. They could have blink engaged. They decided against it. Ice Blast does connect down to FNG and FNG alone, but all the heroes rotated. Slithering Crush onto Misery. Does have a Forest Staff, mind you. Might force himself away. And he's waiting at the last possible moment, and he does get out. Courier going through a bit too aggressively. Courier will survive.
Courier almost died. Wow.
Very close. But yeah, that force coming out just in time actually saves Misery's life more than likely.
I mean, if we take a look at Golden Experience, it does look like Secret do have an advantage on both fronts. It's about 2,000 gold and 2,000 experience as well. So they're doing a great job farming up as efficiently as possible, but I'm not sure that this advantage is quite enough considering the lineup that VPP have and how much pushing potential they're going to have as soon as the... Oh, Death Prophet actually hits level 11 already, so...
This is going to be really tough to fight into. In fact, I don't think you fight into this if you're Secret. You really can't. You have to find picks, and at some point,
picks and farm.
You transition into maybe being able to fight. But right now, I mean, S4 is going to smoke up. He's looking for a kill. They might find something. Maybe. No.
I mean, FNG is not the hero you want to run into.
Borrowed time goes. They decide not to go on him. Earth Splitter is going to be thrown out defensively, and they avoid it.
Unfortunately, running into pretty much the only hero that they can't solo kill, FNG. I think if they run into any other hero there, it's a kill.
Assuming there is no Dazzle or Abaddon there.
Assuming no Dazzle or Abaddon yet.
That's a pretty big assumption as well. And
I mean, it's going to be hard to find pickoffs if they're holding hands. And they're actually just going to walk into Roshan. They're going to do... I mean, this is going to die so fast with the Amplify damage.
Amplify damage. Weave is up, by the way, Mag. And Illidan Storm Rage, they're just going to kill this quickly. And there's absolutely nothing Secret can do to stop this. They know this. They throw an Ice Blast out. It's just going to get there a bit too late. Illidan picks up the Aegis. Ice Blast goes, Sprint goes in, there's a blink up, and Illidan's actually just going ham right now. He's in 3 heroes nearby in the near vicinity, but he finds that one, runs back the other way. He doesn't know which way he's going, actually. Slithering Crush onto 2, No Tail's going to be caught out. He wants to use this Aegis apparently immediately. He's actually just going to die, but Effigy's here as well. No Tail's getting chased down. Shackle Shot does connect. Effigy does have borrowed time. It does prop off that Shackle Shot. Pull goes into Illidan. And he's going to get weaved up now. Here comes DK Phobos Astral. Now the Poison Touch. S4 is out of mana. The Stomp's going to go through in just a second. Avoids it, but he does get hit up with the Slither Crush, and S4 is going to fall. So they lose the Aegis, but they do get S4 in the process. Although they could have gotten a lot more out of that.
They get top tower as well.
That was a weird exchange.
That's a win for Secret.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I'm not
They're losing tier 1 mid, though. They're going to lose Misery as well.
Okay, now it's worth it for VPP.
That just changes dramatically in the span of 2 seconds. It goes from one team to the other. Virtus.Pro Polar exchanging and gets a couple of kills in towers, and boom, it's fine. Mag's already level 12 too, so the level 11 hump he's gotten over. Illidan is still going into Kuroki. Kuroki is like, I have Mask of Madness. Illidan has Blink in 1. Mask of Madness is going to go. This is actually just going to kill him quicker. Crypt Storm, and he is dead.
Yeah, there's nothing he can do in that situation unless he maybe had something like a Blink Dagger. They have no defensive supports against this Blinken from Slardar.
S4. Bash, silence.
Never mind, they have a swap.
Slithering Crush, he doesn't have mana. The swap out. They do use the Slithering Crush. It's on to No Tail. Crypt Storm back in. Magic Missile goes, and No Tail taking a pounding here. He's going to fall. They're just running at heroes at this point for Virtus.Pro Polar, and they will continue to run at heroes.
I thought S4 was going to be in a little bit of trouble because he was running quite low on mana, only had about 200 left. I thought Illidan might be able to chase him down with that Blink Dagger, but does get slightly out of range. And like we talked about, even though this Windrunner had a tremendous impact in the laning phase, she's 0-2-0, so not really having that effect you want on a hero that gets such a tremendous start.
Well, what is she doing now right now exactly? She has a Midas and a Force Staff. It's not like she's contributing a lot in terms of right-click damage, although she has plenty from the crowd.
No, she has a lot of right-click damage. It's about 160, probably the most in the game, actually.
The problem is, though, it's that she just dies too quickly, even with a Force Staff, and she can't kill people fast enough. I mean, she'll maybe have single-target damage, but that's about it. Blink, Slithering Crush, S4 swapped out, No Tail getting Shadow Wave, actually saves his life. No Tail's gonna die. Earth Splitter goes, that misses. Misery TP's in, Aphotic Shield onto Illidan in case he wants to go. Now the Exorcism's popped. Mag wants to fly. Misery gets Slithering Crush at the tier 3 tower. They can't kill Misery. They're diving, actually. Why are they diving so hard? Yule Scepter, Misery's gonna die, but is it worth it at this point? Mag needs to stay alive and take this tier 2 town, and then they need to go for the tier 3 tower. I guess the dive worked out. They forced the glyph out, they kill a hero. Okay, alright. I see you, Virtus.Pro. I see you taking these towers. I see you team fighting. This is like a 5-man death ball. The trend doesn't stop for anybody, man. It keeps on going.
Radiant's middle tower.
And if you're Secret, what is your solution here? You need to
not die.
Slow this down by finding picks, but they're not successful so far in getting any pickoffs. VPP have done an excellent job staying together, making sure that they're in groups of at least 2, maybe even 3 heroes, so that the Storm Spirit +1 cannot find these kills. And every time they go for the kills and they don't find it, it's an easy opening for VPP to just go ahead and push.
All right, here's something we talked about, is that there's a lot of right-click damage from the Drow Ranger and the Wind Ranger, but the problem is with that is that they now have all of these armor increasing abilities. Specifically, you have Weave first and foremost. Secondly, they do have a Vlad's coming out now for the Abaddon, so I just think that at some point in time, Secret are going to lose their opportunity here, and if they ever had one. There's going to be a Yule's up Elder Titan. Finally, they might get the first pick off. Does he have Graves? Yes, Phobos staying alive. The Electric Vortex is going to go. They're going to heal him up with Miscoil and Urn. The Power Shot misses. They're going to try to turn on this as well, but Illidan is nowhere near to try to fight. They're looking for Big Daddy No Tail. FNG is running at him. He's going to spot him out. Right-click. Magic Missile. There's the Orchid coming out. Mag getting caught. Yule Scepter to keep him alive. Borrowed time. Shackle Shot going to go. But Mag's going to fall. That's huge. That's a big kill. FNG, though, he's going to get Shallow Graves up. The Ice Blast, I believe, killed the side of DK Phobos. And FNG is dead. And with Illidan and Storm Rage not there, they can't turn that fight effectively. They lose 3 heroes. That's maybe the fight they were looking for Secret to be able to turn this around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great fight coming out from Secret. I think a little too over-aggressive from VPP, especially fighting without the Slardar, who is pretty much the backbone of their team fight right now, just because of how much initiation power he has. They got a little too aggressive, And we can just see how much damage Secret can do if they're allowed to just sit there and auto-attack.
And Polar now, also, like we talked about, the Vlad's #1 for Abaddon, and Illidan's going to be going for an Assault Cuirass #2. So armor is a thing that Virtus.Pro Polar have in spades. They're going to have a lot of it.
He's going to get BKB first, I believe. Going back for the Ogre Club. I think this is okay. You know, the Hyperstone is going to make him farm a bit faster. A lot of times you talk about, like, Hyperstone's not really the most efficient item to buy first, but I mean, it's not too bad because it is going to make him farm that much faster.
I can dig it
And
on
it's a hero. It's a hero that has a lot of issues farming, actually.
Top lane Mag's going to push this wave out. Crypt Swarm, Yules, BKB's almost done for Mag.
That is a very aggressive TP. I mean, Blink from Illidan. He just blinks with no vision onto the Ancient stack. Sees 2 heroes. They actually run away from him.
It's just one of those games, man. Secret can't really get close right now. They're going to maybe try to contest this. They have the Abaddon. They have Lil nearby.
They have an idea that he's here.
And he just blinks
but
away.
He's just going to blink out.
He stole a couple of Ancients, backed off, and maybe they can try to
He
fight
actually didn't
this in a
steal any
moment.
of them. He just got them low.
Radiant's
kind of
top
Hey,
tower
thanks,
is
man.
under
We're just going to
attack.
finish this off. Croaky actually takes them all.
Alright, but they're going to start their 5-man assault again in this top lane.
I don't think they need to use the Exorcism for this tower. They could take it with right-click and then push into the Tier 2 tower, more than likely. And if I think Secret fight into this, they probably die.
Radiant's top
It's
tower
gonna be a
is
tough
under
fight.
attack.
Yeah, I mean, Secret at this point need to split push. It looks like S4 is in the middle lane, so he does have a DD, so going to be doing a lot of damage to this tower, but I don't think it's going to be fast enough. Because they're going to pop the Exorcism here for this Tier 2, I
Are
believe.
they? They're rotating 2 heroes towards the mid lane, Illidan and DK Phobos.
Oh, this is actually pretty smart. If they find Kuroki here, that's going to be huge.
Astral. He's going to TP home. And they push out the mid lane. It looks like Illidan's going to just take the creep wave in.
So they get decent damage on this Tier 2. They force VPP back.
Dire's
Well, they don't
middle
really
tower
force them back,
is
but
under
VPP
attack.
deciding to go back instead of
They're stalling for now.
pushing. Yeah.
Virtus.Pro Polar
But
can just stay
stalling,
here. And
what are they stalling for, though? I still don't see in the late game how they defeat the VPP heroes. Like, this Dazzle hero scales so immensely well. There's just too much negative and like, the armor differential between these two teams is going to be absolutely insane in the late game.
we're going to find that out
Dire's
pretty soon.
structures are fortified.
Direglyph going out as the Tier 1 bottom was
Dire's
getting
bottom
assaulted.
tower is
Stomp
under
goes in.
attack.
Illidan is looking for a target.
Radiant's
Can't
top
find one.
tower is
Exorcism
under
not done
attack.
yet for Mag. They're just
Dire's
going to right click
bottom
this tower down
tower
for the
has
time
fallen.
being. Mag's still holding on to the Exorcism. He doesn't want to use it yet. They will take the Tier 1 tower down bottom and continue to push. With
Radiant
Kuroki, they
structures
have
are
decent
fortified.
split push. In fact,
Dire's
this is the
bottom
I
right
mean,
decision to make.
they're doing an excellent job split
Radiant's
pushing right now.
top
They're
tower
actually going to
is
get
under
2
attack.
towers for this
Dire's
one in the bottom lane,
structures
and a
are
lot of
fortified.
damage in the mid lane
Radiant's
as well.
top tower has fallen.
They might try to TP back. Are they going to keep going? They're going to let this Tier 2 tower go.
If anyone TP'd on it, they would have just died. Maybe Abaddon could have TP'd first, and then you TP with the Sardar next, but...
Drow Ranger,
Letting
good
it
hero.
go.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Doesn't matter how much armor they have. The towers will not benefit from that.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
Secret are doing a great job split pushing right now, and they need to keep this up because a straight up 5v5 against Polar right now would be a complete disaster in my opinion.
I think Virtus.Pro Polar have to keep the lanes pushed out past the river and then go for a fight, and that's easier said than done against
Dire's
Secret's
bottom tower is
lineup.
under
They have to kill, I
attack.
think, Drow Ranger first and foremost.
Over here now.
But, again, easier said than done. What do Virtus.Pro Polar do next? BKB is done for the Death Prophet. Her level 3 Exorcism is very, very close. She's going to have a Shiva's Guard, because guess what? Why not get more armor? Roche is up, amplify damage. He's going to be popped momentarily once the spell shield is gone, and he'll die quickly. So
Yeah, they don't even need to use the Exorcism anymore.
Puppy has played AA 36
Only
times. This is the third time he's gone
gone
by
behind
us.
that Midas. I mean, I do think it's the correct choice in this game. I mean, I talked about the late game from Secret. I think if they get to the ultra late game, they can win. But in the late game, I still think VPP have an advantage with, you know, the Elder Titan, the Death Prophet, and Sardar. But I guess Sardar and Death Prophet can sort of fall off the later and later this goes. But I think you're talking about 6 slots on all of these heroes at that point.
The game has to progress this further. This is what Secret need to do. They're trying to split push currently. There'll be a hero to TP up top. They get it to the tower, and that's mission accomplished for them. They don't need to push it any further. So this actually just stops Virtus.Pro Polar from pushing into any specific lane. They might try to get a gank, but Secret have a pretty good idea of where these heroes are. They've circled them on the map. FAG and Illidan know that they've been spotted. Perhaps they might.
Misery actually opts for a BKB. Oh, is S4 going to be in trouble here?
Southern Crush does hit. Now there's the Aphotic Shield. Nope, the Miscoil. Excuse me.
Bash.
He's gonna. Yeah, the bash didn't come for Illidan. He would have killed him if it had gone. But
Yep.
Puppy's like, I'm gonna kill him now. There's the Orchid going. Illidan doesn't have his BKB.
does
Shackle
not
shot.
have a BKB
Actually,
yet.
FNG is fine, and this is 2 heroes causing so much havoc, and good force away from Misery as he was getting jumped on there.
Yeah, he got the weave casted on him, and he was like, "Oh, I have weave, no problem." Just starts running at heroes.
S4
S4 could
stomped
be in
up,
some trouble.
right-clicked, but there's no follow-up. He picked up the end of his rune.
Nice.
He's got a bottle up. He's okay. And it is time for Virtus.Pro to push down mid and maybe go for a tier 3 tower with Exorcism. Now it is level 3. Mag is ready to fight. It is time to go, says Virtus.Pro. They want to finish this game off at 28 minutes in.
This is the perfect time to push because none of these lanes are being pushed by Secret, and there's no heroes in position to push these lanes. So Secret are actually forced into a terrible position where they have to
And there's
fight.
no glyph coming out from Secret either, so this tier 3 tower should fall almost instantaneously. There's going to be the ice blast coming in into Mag, and he actually takes a lot of damage. Shackle shot goes, the Aphotic Shield goes through, and for the time being, Mag should be okay. They take down the tier 3 tower. Nobody in the high ground just yet. Static Remnant, they're going to try to make sure they have some vision. Misery forces in Mag, but he's okay. Aegis is still up on him. Slytherin's Crush doesn't go for Illidan. Range Rack's taking a lot of damage. Earth Splitter onto Kuroki. It's going to go onto S4. He pops the BKB. Illidan gets graved up. He does not have the Aegis, though. Slytherin Crush, S4 gets blown up. Mag's Aegis is expended, and they will take down the Slaughter in the end of the day. Kuroki now, Mask of Madness, Gust onto Mag as well. Can they keep him alive? The Eul's Scepter will save his own life. FNG for hard time is going to go swap out. Mag Silence as well. Another grave comes through. FNG is trying to man up onto Kuroki. I don't think he's going to be able to do so. He's actually just kind of wasting time at this point, allowing his team to retreat. Shackle shot, Mag's still okay. And they're going to try to turn this fight around maybe. 2-for-2 exchange. Not a bad fight from Secret. They hold on to their melee racks at the very least. And okay.
Yeah, but I mean, still losing the tier 3 and the melee and the range racks, it's just going to be a matter of time before they get that melee. They can just do what they just did again. And Secret actually have to wait until the weave is over, because if they're fighting into this weave, they get so much effective HP from this additional armor, and the majority of their damage source right now is magic damage. Especially once the Slardar finishes the BKB along with the Krab. I mean, he didn't even have BKB in that engagement.
DK Phobos buys the BKB.
Oh, they're going to have 3 BKBs in this next push, so I think it's pretty much guaranteed at this point that melee Rax is going to go down.
S4 is going to have to jump on either the Dazzle or the Abaddon, and again, you don't want to jump on the Abaddon. The BKB is going to allow them to go just.
Yeah, but the problem
ham
is you jump on the Dazzle, and then unless they get maybe a silence out from Drow at the exact same time onto Abaddon to prevent the Aphotic Shield from removing the Orchid, and then the problem is he removes the Orchid, and then he can just grave himself or do whatever at that point, heal, and then what is Storm doing?
Dying.
Maybe Orchid wasn't the right item for Storm, but at that point, what do you... You could maybe make a case for Bloodstone, because this Orchid actually has not produced any results for S4.
I think regardless of the item choice, this was a tough game for him.
Yeah.
And by the way, it's important to note that S4 used his
Dire's
BKB, and it
top
was
tower
maybe
is
gone.
under
It was on for about 2 or 3
Dire's
seconds
structures
before he
are
got melted down by
fortified.
armor reduction, and I think Exorcism just killed him. So.
I mean, if he had gone for
Dire's top
Bloodstone
tower
first, it would
has
have given him a
fallen.
lot of additional farming
Radiant's
potential.
bottom tower is under attack.
And Secret, again, doing a great job split pushing, making it very difficult for VPP to find an opening to just 5-man down these towers, and actually end up getting a 1-for-0 in towers, getting this tier 2 in the top lane for, an unsuccessful tier 2 bottom lane push for VPP.
They just need to keep doing this, keep split pushing, and at some point maybe they'll get lucky enough to take a tier 3 tower off the back end of a split push and a failed fight from Virtus.Pro. But then again,
Yeah, they're forcing VPP into all of these decisions, which is the right way to play something like this. If you just allow VPP to dictate the pace of this game, I think you just lose. But they're doing an excellent job forcing VPP into these decisions. They show 2 heroes top, and they say, look, you want to push bottom? We'll push top with this Drow and Storm. We have the Aura, we have the Manta on the Drow, and the Mask of Madness. We're going to push very, very fast, even faster than your entire team, most likely. So forcing VPP back, and Secret are actually playing this surprisingly well.
that is the one advantage they have. It is the fast split push, the capabilities of the Drow Ranger with every other hero on the map, and S4 being all over the map because of his ball lightning, and it's tough. I mean, it's a situation where they're given not a lot of room to wiggle with, and we'll see what Secret makes happen here as they move to the bottom lane. No tier 2 tower left in the bottom lane. Of course, there's the tier 2 mid lane, and S4 immediately ball lightnings away as soon as he sees that Astral in. And now they go to the mid lane. They're going to push mid lane in with Kuroki. Top's getting pushed out by Virtus.Pro Polar. Bottom's getting pushed out by Virtus.Pro Polar, and Kuroki's pushing mid. So go to the lane that doesn't have a hero in it for Virtus.Pro Polar and see what you can accomplish. They throw up the Mantis Style, so it'll push again. And now Kuroki will take the Ancients as well. And he has his BKB. So a lot of BKBs on the map currently. You have 3 on the side of Secret, 3 on the side of Virtus.Pro Polar. Only the supports don't have them currently. You look at No-Tail, Puppy, Lil, and FNG. Those are the only 4 heroes that don't have BKBs in this game. Good item. Solid item.
Yep. And Kuroki actually getting very farmed on this Drow Ranger. Up to 5,000 gold. It looks like he is going to sell the Aquila for an Eagle Song. So working towards that Butterfly, it's going to give him, the nice evasion. None of the Sardar is probably not going to be getting an MKB anytime soon. Has he picked up some AC components? Yeah, he has the plate mail. So getting pretty close to the AC. I think the next go time for VPP is going to be once they get the AC as well as the next Aegis. And then we'll see them try to push out the mid lane.
The Assault Cuirass is going to make work of those towers and those buildings, and then all of a sudden, it's not only heroes dying quickly, it's just the buildings being assaulted as well. So if they could promptly push out these lanes and make sure they're not getting split pushed, once they do have that Assault Cuirass, they will be able to take a tower. They will be able to take a Rax, probably at the very least, if not get a fight that's won by them completely because of those 3 BKBs. But S4 continues to do his own thing down bottom. He continues to push into the lane, into the tower, and it looks
I wonder
like
what Misery is going to go for this game. He has the BKB, the Force Staff, the Midas. Does he go for maybe a... Oh, he actually buys something, I believe. Oh, he's going to go for an Aghanims. Looks like.
No Maelstrom,
That's an interesting
but
choice.
he will have plenty of damage coming out from Focus Fire. The Scepter
I like the
damage
Aghs
reduction
when you
is
have
0%, I believe.
I like the Aghs when you have Dro. It reduces the cooldown of your ult, as well as, like you said, reducing the damage reduction to 0. And when you have the Dro Aura, which is giving you a lot of plus damage, it actually is probably the most efficient item in terms of what you can buy for damage. So I like this choice coming out from Misery.
Oh dear, Secret if they get caught here. But Virtus.Pro Polar don't go to the high ground. They're going to go straight down mid. Now they're going to go up to the high ground here. Illidan is going to blink up, sprint forward. The Force Staff, Big Daddy No-Tail is going to be spotted. He will be the kill, but they needed more than that, I believe.
No, I think that's going to result in the melee Rex. But Secret are going to do the smart thing, start pushing up the top lane with 2 of their cores in the Storm as well as the Drow Ranger. But I don't think they have enough time. The lane isn't pushed far enough, and they're not going to be able to push fast enough. This is just going to be a simple exorcism into melee Rex.
Maybe Glyph first. We'll see if they use it for the melee Rex, if they just let this go. There's the Glyph coming out. S4 is already up very close to the tier 3 tower, but they can rotate and take the tier 3 top if necessary. They are already inside of the base. Melee Rax is gone. And now 1 set of racks completed for Virtus.Pro Polar. Now they need to try to defend. Lil has a TP, FNG has a TP. Mag does not have a TP, so that's a problem. More TP's coming back in. Ball letting away from S4. Kuroki's got to try to TP out. He will make his way out of there. Okay, good split push, but they did lose the melee racks mid.
Yep, they didn't really have much of a choice. Taking a team fight there without the Vengeful Spirit, I think, would have been a complete disaster. They really need the swap to swap whoever Sardar goes onto, or that person's just going to die.
Smoked up.
They do have a 5-man smoke. This seems a little desperate, to be honest, because the mid lane is pushing, so I think it should be fairly obvious to VPP that this is happening. Although at the same time, there is no exorcism available, so if you're going to take a fight, this might be the time to do it. This is probably one of the best times to do it.
They're going to go to the Ancient stack, and Kuroki's got a spot at FNG.
Oh, no, they're going into
Silence, and that's the wrong hero to go. They will swap out Mag, though, and he has Yules. He's not going to get it off. He's going to die. Illidan jumps in, but they've lost a big hero. Illidan pops his BKB. There's the Earth Splitter going in. Illidan has to run away. He's going to die. Buyback immediately from Mag. They don't have one for Illidan. All of the BKBs have been popped. DK Phobos hasn't used his yet. Now he's going to turn his on. He gets graved up, but he's about to fall. FNG, no borrowed time. Mag's going to go. Virtus.Pro Polar now crumbling at the feet, and Secret are just trying to dominate here. They're looking for Mag. Mag. They're looking for Phobos. Kuroki got forced forward. Phobos, with one more right click, is going to die. Yule Scepter's at the right time, stays alive. Now the counter Yule is onto Kuroki. The Crypt Swarm coming in does connect, but they will back away. There is no creep wave up into that tier 2 tower, so they actually have to back up, but they will take Roshan, and they will take Aegis because of a misengagement coming out from Virtus.Pro Polar.
I'm actually astonished at that work. If you saw what happened mid, there's creeps right here, and no one on Secret is farming them.
Roshan
That's a
has
clear
fallen
indication
to the
that they're
Radiant.
smoked, or off the map at least, and they needed to play much more
Radiant's middle
carefully
tower is
at that
under
point. I'm
attack.
actually extremely surprised they decided to re-engage after the Abaddon got caught. But it was a really nice swap coming out from Big Daddy, I think, to secure that fight. But I think after that point, you just sack those heroes, and you say, well, you know, losing 2 heroes is definitely better than losing 3 and a buyback. And I'm not actually too sure what Mag was trying to accomplish with that buyback either. So a little bit of unfortunate mistakes coming out from VPP.
He had no exorcism still for another 30 seconds, even after the buyback. There's no real reason for him to do that. So he eventually just buys back.
I mean, it's a
gold's
completely
gone,
lost fight at that point anyways.
Whatever Slaughter was getting, his Assault Cuirass, although still very close. He's close to the recipe now, but
yeah,
he would have been closer had he had actually not died. And I don't know. It's they have the damage, and now with the negative scepter, Focus Fire is going to chew through whatever here. I mean, Mag died almost instantaneously. Obviously, they weren't set up. They didn't have weave, I don't think. Armor reduction and armor amplification was not there, but well, that might not be the case this time around as Virtus.Pro Polar finish up their first, well, one of their key big items, I should say, for the AC for Illidan Stormrage.
Secret are definitely farming faster than VPP right now. If we go ahead and take a look at gold, maybe they were farming at about the same rate. That last team fight actually netted them about a 5,000 gold lead, and they're up 10,000 experience as well.
Misery forced to use his BKB. They're still chasing. Drought Ranger gets the kill on DK Phobos mid, so Misery forces to the low ground. Illidan does have Blink. Pop, Slithering Crush, our amplified damage is going to go as well. They get one. Exorcism is going to go. This is maybe not the fight for Secret. Kuroki gets silenced up. He's got his BKB. Mag's running in. Kuroki taking a hefty amount of right click and Exorcism damage. He's done, but he does have the Aegis to go through. They did get Puppy as well in the back end. No tail. Now the Grave on the little. Kuroki's going to get blown up, hopefully. But Mag is on the run here. Slithering Crush. Kuroki has no BKB. He's going to get right clicked out. He's dead. 3 is dead, and now we will have S4 jumping away as fast as he can possibly get out. He's going to survive. TP away, but he's the only lone survivor currently coming up from Secret. That was a horrific fight for Team Secret on the Radiant side. Virtus.Pro Polar absolutely dominating that with Mag, the Exorcism, the armor reduction. They go to work. And Lil did die in the end, I believe.
That Lil lived that long. Wow.
That Grave, though.
Just forcing so much attention onto himself, and they can't kill these supports. That's honestly their biggest problem in this game. These supports are just doing way too much in these team fights. They're almost unkillable. It requires so much from Secret to kill them unless they're caught completely out of position. And I mean, there we see a clean 5v5 team fight where Secret doesn't actually get the jump on them, and it didn't look good.
No, yeah, that's going to happen almost every single fight from here on out if Virtus.Pro Polar are the ones to engage cleanly, or if it's an equal footing engagement.
And how many smokes are actually available for Secret? Do they have any? There's none in the shop. Is there one on the courier? Okay, so I mean, it's going to be difficult without the smoke to actually get an engage for Team Secret, because what spells do they actually have to engage? They can engage with the Storm, but like we said, it's probably not going to be too fruitful to engage with the Storm. You know, maybe a swap can do it. If you swap into some sort of stun. Do they have a Hex on any of these heroes yet?
No, they went Shiva's Guard on the Storm Spirit.
You know, I actually think if you go Hex maybe onto S4, you can do the swap into Hex, which is actually a really strong mechanic because it's instant. Like, there's no time to BKB if you get swap Hex. You pre-click the Hex onto the hero, and then once they get swapped, they are immediately Hex, and there's nothing they can do. I would have actually liked to see that this game.
Instead, he goes for the Shiva's Guard, a bit of armor going to himself, and
I mean, I definitely understand the Shiva's pickup, but I think the way they win is by finding some pickups or getting the engage that they want in these team fights. You know, maybe Misery can go for the Hex instead. He's actually just getting a Blink Dagger.
The item decisions are a bit rough. It's damn it if you do, damn it if you don't, if you are Secret at this point in time.
And I mean, most of that is just playing against the Elder Titan. Like, if he does not buy the Shivas here, okay, that's giving him 15 armor, right? He has 11 base armor, which is actually quite high for an intelligence hero, but that completely gets removed from the Elder Titan aura. And then if he doesn't buy Shivas, if he gets amplified damage or even weaved, he's going to be sitting at, you know, -10, -20, and above. But
and that's the case for almost every hero.
Some awkward items.
Except for Croaky. Croaky has 27 base armor just because he's an agility hero and butterfly and Manta style and all that jazz. So that is the good thing. So Croaky has the most armor in the game by a wide margin, I'd imagine. And
I'll actually find S4 here, but
he's going to ball lightning away and try to TP out. In fact, he just ball lightnings across the entire map, and he's forced to go back to the well. And they're going to go for the tier 3 tower top. The tier 2 tower bottom is still there, but they don't want to waste their time. Slithering Crush is going to go on to Misery. Magic Missile is going to go. He avoids it with the BKB. S4 jumps back out. Croaky looking for a fight, but he's going to get Astral
They don't
instead.
have the BKB now on Illidan. Can they... looks like they're still going to go for this.
They don't give a damn. They want this building. Assault Cuirass debuff is not there because Illidan's actually not close enough. The Glyph is going to go. Illidan walk forward a bit, swap in. Mag forces his BKB. Shiva's Guard. No Tail is like, I might be dead here. Wave of Terror goes in. Assault Cuirass debuff still not there. BKB. Mag actually caught out of position now. They're going to jump in with Illidan. They grave him up. They keep him alive. Illidan is getting slowed down. Croaky doing what damage he can. BKB done for him. S4 jumps in. More Vortex damage. They do get the tier 3 tower. It's time to back up for Virtus.Pro Polar. DK Phobos shackle shot beautifully onto F&G. They will get one into Misery, but that's the trade going in for Illidan. No Tail getting right click down. The stop's going to go perfectly out of Croaky. It looks like he's going to die. He does have buyback. He's probably going to use it momentarily. No Tail. Shiva's Guard. He bought back. He's back into the fray. Vortex coming in from S4 in a moment here. Eul Scepter, just kidding. He can't get it off, and the game starts to lag for me. Magic Missile, Slideshow Dota. They do get Lily into the fight, and now S4 and Secret are on the hunt for Magus. He's running away. Please, Dota, Volvo, stop lagging. All right. It's lagging. It's not going well for me here.
No. Well, I seem to be okay. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with the... maybe Dota 2 servers having some issue.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yep. But a really nice fight from VPP. How many buybacks were used by Secret in that engagement?
I think actually did Croaky buyback? Yes, he did. So he was forced to buy back there. I thought he might have not needed to.
So they actually bought back on 3 heroes. They bought back on Dro, Windrunner, as well as the Vengeful Spirit.
If they lose any single, well, Misery or Dro, then it's game at this point. Big Daddy doesn't matter necessarily as much, so. Croaky, Ice Blast. Mag is that's an Aghanim, I believe, Ice Blast. So that's going to do some damage. Actually, it's not. He went for Earn Force Theft. Just kidding. No Aghanims this game for Puppy.
He doesn't have X.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually... I mean, it wouldn't do too much, actually, to be honest, this game.
And Mag actually has a heart, so he just regens up quickly by sitting back. Slithering Crush misses. S4, BKB for Mag. That's... Hope Mag had a 5-second BKB duration before that. Nope. Those precious seconds, unfortunately, ticking away now for Mag. Roshan is up, and we're going to find out when. Let's see here. Illidan has Assange. 1 minute Roshan respawn timer. All right, not bad for Virtus.Pro Polar to take an Aegis and try to push into the base.
Yep. Looks like Illidan actually goes for a Sage. Do you think that's going to be a Heaven's Halberd, maybe? Okay.
I do think so. I think that draw range's BKB duration is going to be down to 5 seconds pretty soon. And
yeah. I definitely don't think it's SNY. It is 6 seconds right now, so this is a pretty strong item.
Yeah.
And Dro also does not have an MKB. He's actually going for a crit, so the evasion will be quite nice for Sardar as well.
Radiant's bottom tower has
so Illidan will have a halberd, and if they even get to that point, the problem is they're just going to head top lane now. They're just going to run top. The Naked Rax is there. Mag has his exorcism. BKB just came off cooldown. Hit the R button, Mag. There we go. Blink, Slithering Crush onto Misery. Swap out from No Tail, and that does force out defensive swap. Shackle shot onto Misery. That is a problem. But now S4 jump again. Magic Missile goes through. Now they're looking for Mag. Pops his own BKB. S4's BKB is done. And they're actually pushing Mag out of the base. And S4 is taking so much damage that Exorcism melted him. My God, DK Phobos might fall here. A Phonic Shield. Miss Quill keeps him alive. S4 has bought back into the game. And there's going to be the Eul Scepter up from Mag to stay alive, but he is going to fall. Secret do push them out of the base. Currently on the other side of things, FNG is going to get right-clicked down by Misery. And actually, 100 seconds for Death Prophet, but again, we'll have buyback this time around. DK Phobos is going to run right into Misery and die with a shackle shot and a couple of right clicks.
Yeah, it was actually an additional death timer from his previous buyback, compounded on top of that timer.
And they get Roche too
It's
for
actually
secret.
Okay, they're gonna get Roche instead of forcing buybacks, I think. They could actually force... Yeah, this Aegis is better, because they don't have buybacks on any of these heroes. So they probably put the Aegis onto Drow Ranger, get the cheese onto S4. That was a really awkward fight from BPP in the
They
base.
ran to the base, they forced out a couple of BKBs, and then S4 had to buy back and absolutely
It's
dominate.
just because that when you run into the base like this, it's just not as easy to execute as running like this, because you don't have the additional safety, because your supports are extremely vulnerable in this position as opposed to being back here.
They could be on the high ground in the other position, whereas that's not the case for them when they just kind of ran in there. And now S4, Kuroki, they're going to go mid. They're looking for a tier 3 tower. No glyph, by the way. I think it was already forced out. This tier 3 tower is dead. And I think Mag is going to have to buy back, absolutely. Rax is going to fall. Orchid onto Illidan. Doesn't want to pop the BKB yet. Shiva's Guard. If they can get any one of these kills on the back end of this, they will not have buyback. Yule Scepter going to go. S4 is going to try to jump in, and they do catch out Illidan. Gets a Photic shielded off. He has his BKB. Hasn't used yet. Now will. Nice swap out. Kuroki pops the BKB as well. S4 silenced up. He is dead. No, he has the Aegis, though. It doesn't matter. Kuroki now halberded up. He has to run. A Photic shield. Slithering Crush onto 2. They blow up 1. No Tail's going to be the second to die. S4 trying to do what he can. He does have the silence up into Illidan. Another Photic shield coming out. S4 now out of mana, but he does have some regeneration. I think he had a cheese, and he was fine with it. Just regen up. Now Puppy, Misery, and S4 going to try to TP away. Now S4 is most certainly out of mana with no TP scroll. And they still are looking for Puppy, who doesn't have a TP scroll. Oh! He hit him! Why did he hit him? No, Puppy!
S4 is actually in trouble as well. He's getting bashed up by Illidan. Is he going to die here?
Electric Vortex and Photic Shield, but there's the Shackle Shot. Illidan is still alive. Misery's trying to right-click him down. Slithering Crush misses. The Poison Touch going. Death Prophet did get the kill. Now they do bash S4 down. No buyback. Misery running away. He won't have buyback either if he dies. Illidan is running train here on the side of Secret. Slithering Crush, but a great BKB usage from Misery. But he gets bashed. He gets bashed up. Another bash. Misery. The wind run coming in. He might survive here. Lil's trying to take him down. The Urn Charge, the BKB from Illidan, and he wants to blink forward, but he's not going to get there in time. And Misery will survive, and the rest of the squad from Virtus.Pro are going to try to push top and finish this game off as Kuroki is down for 35 seconds, S4 for 50. Oh, man. The average Death Prophet presses R 8.3 times a game.
That's it?
What do you mean that's it?
Quite low. Only 8.3 times. That means he only ults 8 times on average? That's pretty crazy.
Think about how often you play Death Prophet. Think about how fast the game ends.
That's... well, not anymore, actually. Game times have definitely increased, as one mistake in that mid to late game can actually be fairly devastating.
Exorcism is done, and
they
that
get the
is
Rex in the top lane. But the Rexes are pretty even at this point, so one bad team fight from either of these teams can actually just end the game without buybacks. If we go ahead and look at the buyback status, we've got buyback on Dro as well as the Windrunner coming up pretty soon. 4 minutes left on to Mag with the Krob, and about 3 minutes left on the Storm Spirits. I don't think the buyback onto AA matters too much, because it's probably not going to be caught out in these fights.
There's a situation where Secret can still win this game, absolutely.
Yeah.
It is with
if the
S4
buybacks are down and they find a pickoff.
They need to have some excellent team fights, though, and they need to fight when Exorcism is down.
Let's say they kill Mag right now, and he has no buyback, then the game might just end.
His Ghost Scepter, that is a huge pickup, I think.
What did he... Oh, he just sold his phase boots, okay, for bots.
503 move speed, by the way. This is a fast hero.
Witchcraft good ability.
Death Prophet balanced hero. She is pretty balanced right now, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe not last batch, but... S4... Slithering Crush. Bash. Nope. Illidan has no bash luck, man.
Wow, he actually forced him to BKB.
Yeah, I think it was 5 seconds, though. So it wasn't a big deal. But it does force him from stopping the farm bottom lane.
Cooldown.
Sheep now on to Elder Titan. So you have Sheep into Slithering Crush, assuming the BKB has not been expended yet. they can get the kill before the BKB is even used. And then
I really don't
the
like
game.
that Secret have not opted to get a Hex on any of these heroes. I think it's a mistake.
And they're not building into one either anytime soon.
Yeah. I mean, Windrunner is actually going for a crit. I don't feel like damage necessarily is their problem. I feel like the problem is that they can't use the damage effectively in the team fights.
Well, I mean,
Radiant's bottom
they have the
tower
Like a
damage now.
Hex is very good at kiting the Slardar.
Oh, Kuroki, is he going to get hexed up? Nope. Nets is out. And now they're going to jump in with S4. BKB's going to get popped for pretty much every hero. Earth Splitter going in. It's going to hit on a Kuroki now. It doesn't really do much damage. Magic Missile FNG has borrowed time. It's the hero you're not trying to kill. Going to get shackled into Illidan, but a Photic Shield goes. Gus, Slither crushed onto Misery. He's in some trouble. Bash up, but look at the damage to Illidan. Illidan's getting low. Misery's still alive, but the Exorcism is going through, and the Grave is there. Now Kuroki hexed up. Kuroki is going to die. He will have buyback, by the way. S4 silenced up. He can't fight anymore. These Rax is not dead yet, but they're getting low. Phobos going to try to staple gun it down. Big Daddy No Tail. S4 Ball Lightning. Shiva's Guard all the way through. Eul Scepter coming out. Shackle shot on it too. Gus, big Ice Blast. They're going to kill maybe 1, 2, even 3. Mag is going to just stay alive. He's full health now, and the only hero to survive. Buyback status, the only one not having it for Virtus.Pro Polar is DK Phobos. Mag will leave. He has bots. Ball Lightning through. Swap further, but they cannot chase him down. He is just too damn fast. Zoom, zoom for the Death Prophet. He'll get back home.
I mean, it was a good fight from VPP. They just stayed a little bit too long. Maybe they could have focused down the Rax during that really nice sleep coming out from the Elder Titan. I mean, that sleep saved that fight. That fight could have been a complete disaster, I think, for VPP had that
Mag,
Echo
I know what you...
Sump not
Mag,
coming.
do it. Mag, do it. Go bottom. Finish off the Rax. Let's go. It's your destiny, Mag. You must.
I mean, they have buyback on all of his heroes except for Elder Titan. That's actually fairly significant since he does have the natural order.
25 seconds. They have Glyph, though. That's the thing. No
They're gonna buy
TP.
back on all
No
of these
TPs.
Oh.
No TPs.
Oh, this
No,
is
they have
all in?
TPs. They have S4 with the TP. They have
Dyer's
Puppy with the
No,
TP.
it's
Are
cooldown.
fortified.
S4's TP is cooldown. Literally,
No,
Puppy, the only
Mag,
hero
keep
with
going.
cooldown.
You fool. Mag, you made a huge mistake. And they're going to actually silence up Mag. He's going to pop his BKB.
Yes,
No
Mag.
Exorcism for 25 seconds. Kuroki bashed up. He should not have buyback if he goes down here. One bash forced to the other side of the
game?
Ancient. The Ancient's going down. Secret are going to take the game. They destroyed it in 5 seconds flat. What damage? Oh my god, they put all the eggs into the damage basket. We thought it wasn't going to work out. Are you kidding? What?
They didn't buy back soon enough. They waited too long to buy back. They needed to buy back and engage onto Secret before they actually hit their base. That base died so fast, and
I was not
Storm
expecting
just
that.
falls around and just hits it, and he does so much damage with the draw order. That was
That was an
Wow, what an
insane
ending.
game. An insane game from Secret. There's no reason for them to win that game. 2 sets of racks is down. And we talked about the damage at the end of the game. Wind Ranger had Chrysalis, Drow Ranger had Daedalus. And so that base died a lot faster than I think we both anticipated.
And I mean, it just goes to show what happens when you make a mistake in the late game. They lingered around a bit too long in that bottom lane, ending up getting 4 heroes killed in the process because the Exorcism, we talk about it all the time. As Exorcism starts to wane off, you really need to get out of there because the other team just initiates on you. A really nice Ball Lightning from S4 dealing tons of damage, as well as the Shivas to slow them all, and they end up losing 4. And I think it was a mistake to not buy back, as they didn't buy back quickly enough, but, well, what an ending.
A crazy game ends with a crazy way. Guys, thank you so much for joining us again. We'll have game number 2 in just a moment, of course. Stick around. Twitch.tv/DotaPit. Again, my name is Mont. With me is F4L and Mont Pax, our stats man. Of course, if you enjoyed the cast, make sure you check out twitter.com/DotaPit, DotaPit.com for more information. Check out our Twitters at MontDota, at F4LDota, at MontPax. There is also a giveaway that we have ready to go for you guys. It's the Gamers Book giveaway. We have some Arcanas to give away. All you have to do is head over to the Steam group for Gamers Book, and you can see the Legendary Earthshaker set giveaway and Arcanas for Christmas giveaway. So make sure you guys check that out. We'll be back in just a second with game number 2. Stick around, everybody.